It's time to read some more books, ladies and gentlemen. First floor, main hall. Mukuro continued moving forward and was fortunate enough to not encounter Sakura or Mondo. With no interference from anyone, she made her way to a hall as large as the gym and stood before the sealed main entrance. Sadly, Monokuma poked out from the shadows to block her path. Within this hall, that resembled a nuclear bomb shelter, replete with all manner of heavy weaponry, Monokuma's silhouette was conspicuously out of place here. His laughter rang throughout the room as he wiggled his body from side to side. What were you doing at the nurse's office? Did you eliminate your rival from Makoto's affections? Or did you help me play matchmaker instead? Either way, don't you think it's kind of adorable to put Makoto and Kyoko in this kind of situation together? If this were a suspense film, those two would be the last couple standing. But if this was a horror film, they'd just die anyway. Kino was alive all along, splat goes the blood, plop goes the meat. I'm a huge fan of endings where the characters think they're gonna live, but they're really headed to a final destination. Wait, what the hell's a tenation? What does that even mean? Despite Monokuma's angry complaints, Mukuro remained unperturbed. She continued to stare icy daggers at Monokuma as if she were waiting for him to finish speaking. Well, anyway, I'm just so sad right now. The regulation-breaking delinquent is disrupting the harmony of this peaceful academy. I can't even keep one of my students from running wild. Time to say goodbye to your incompetent headmaster. I'm gonna use Monokuma Evolution to become a big magnet headmaster, and mold you into a decent student. As soon as he said that, Monokuma extended his claws and waddled towards Mukuro. So if I'm gonna mold you, then I gotta kill you first! As he finished speaking, Monokuma suddenly charged at Mukuro like a spiked volleyball, but Mukuro was faster and dodged Monokuma's attacks. She jumped back, keeping a distance from Monokuma just in case his claws could extend even longer. Just then, a shadowy figure appeared next to her. Mukuro twisted her body to its limits and just narrowly evaded the figure's attack. When she landed on the floor, she immediately saw. So what does the immortal killer want anyway? Are you going to tell the others the truth and escape with them? Even though you know what the outside world is like right now? Two Monokumas were speaking to Mukuro in unison. Honestly, I don't mind if you do that. I can just imagine the look on everyone's face when they discover the truth. It fills me with such heartthrobbing excitement. The two Monokumas continued to speak in stereo sound. You said you destroyed my plan, but there's no happy ending waiting for you, no matter which route you take. You only have yourself to blame for that. Don't tell me you thought they'd be grateful to you. Even if you guys escaped here, you think they'll still forgive you when they get a whiff of that nasty air outside? Some of them might prefer to stay in school, and some of them might resent you for being kind and showing them the truth. But then again, this is all your fault anyway, so it doesn't really matter what they think of you. Monokuma made a little mistake. Despite facing down two Monokumas, Mukuro's expression didn't waver. She understood that controlling Monokumas simultaneously was a piece of cake for Junko. Mukuro drew an arm-length metal bar from seemingly nowhere and readied herself. Was the remains of the IV stand from the nurse's office sharpened to a pointed weapon. With a weapon in hand, Mukuro responded in a cold, mechanical tone. That's fine. I'm already used to that. None of the fear she felt when Monokuma suggested that Makoto would blame her appeared on her face. Her path was clear to her now, and she calmly issued her demand to Monokuma. Junko, open the gates. The shock of such a straightforward demand left both Monokumas momentarily speechless, but soon they replied. Huh? Why? So we can all leave together. Another straightforward answer. Both Monokumas faced each other and began gesturing as if they were whispering to one another. Mukuro knew that moves were intended to mock her. Moved, she continued to speak to Junko directly. I think they'll understand if I show them the outside world, and they'll stop doubting Makoto. You always find new ways to disappoint me, Mukuro. Did you forget where the school had an air filtration system? It's true that the air outside is polluted, but I don't think it'll kill us immediately. Besides, it's better than being trapped in a school and forced to kill each other. How can we be so sure the others will go along with you? You know what I mean, right? Before the former headmaster got turned into space dust, he interviewed the others and they all agreed that he wanted to stay in the school. That was before their memories had even been erased. Do you really want to betray their wishes? Mukuro blinked and slowly stepped forward. I don't really care about their feelings. Huh? You're all I need, Junko. So don't worry. I'm always watching out for you. I'm going to make sure you feel despair, and then I'm going to make Makoto and the others happy. If you want to revel in your own despair that badly, then I'll trust the hope Makoto gave me, and take my chances with them instead of you. Mukuro's brief but powerful words caused the Monokumas to turn and talk to each other again. Oh my, this doesn't look good at all, Monokuma A. This child doesn't realize her own hypocrisy. She's so disappointed that she's starting to reach critical mass, right, Monokuma B? Two Monokumas looked at Mukuro, who seemed ready to destroy them, and said, What do you think, Monokuma C? Mukuro was taken aback by that question, but her instinct suddenly kicked in. She immediately dodged away. At that moment, a third Monokuma claw extended past out by where her head had previously been. This new Monokuma unit landed with several spins and faced Mukuro, who had clung to the remains of a surveillance camera still attached to the ceiling. I agree with you both, A and B. The three Monokumas lined themselves up. To the students locked inside his academy, the sight would have been akin to a nightmare. Right on! Woohoo! The three units began speaking in perfect harmony as their 6 eyes looked over Mukuro. Suddenly they each jumped away in 3 separate directions and kicked off one of the walls. The path of each unit's triangular attack all converged into a single point. Mukuro, who was still clinging to the ceiling. She was surrounded by razor-sharp claws coming at her from different directions. But the situation wasn't even a nightmare to Mukuro, compared to the time she fended off 3 assassins who had invaded the camp one night back when she was still a member of Fenrir. This was nothing. The thought that crossed Mukuro's mind as she dangled from the ceiling with one hand thrashed her limbs around like a tornado. Intercepted by this move, Monokumas fell to the floor with a loud crash. Mukuro landed on the ground and chased after one of them, brandishing their metal bar. Suddenly, she stopped moving and took a huge leap back. One of the Monokumas exploded with a deafening roar. He had detonated the bomb inside of him in an attempt to take Mukuro down with him. But thanks to her honed battlefield instincts, Mukuro managed to avoid the explosion. She looked toward the hallway, expecting the explosion to have attracted the attention of Sakura and the others. But she didn't hear any footsteps approaching. Monokuma's voice rang from within the dense smoke. Oh, you don't have to worry. I already told the other students to assemble in the cafeteria. They were eager to follow my orders after I told them I disarmed the poison gas, and that a special police unit was coming to get them. I'm pretty sure Kyoko and all the others are in the cafeteria by now. I'm sure Makoto's with them too. I doubt Sakura will get too rough with him, but I'm sure Byakuya will torture Makoto once he wakes up. I can just imagine him rubbing salt or pouring soy sauce into his open wounds. Man, I'm getting all hot and bothered right now. As she listened to Monokuma's overlapping voices, Mukuro tilted her head slightly and asked, I'm pretty sure they're gonna find out that you lied about that special police unit. Are you really okay with that? No worries! Once I've dealt with you, I don't care at all if they find out I was lying. You still don't get it? Such a disappointment. Suddenly dawned on Mukuro. Not the reason why Monokuma didn't care if the students found out he lied, but rather that the voices of Monokuma in the smoke gradually increasing in number. As the smoke started to clear, the shadows of 3 Monokuma appeared. The ones that exploded couldn't have revived, so a new one must have come to take its place. But there's no way Mukuro only heard 3 Monokumas talking just now. To prove her hearing had been accurate, the Monokumas suddenly made their move. The 3 Monokumas bent over and began twirling their upper bodies. From behind them, new Monokumas emerged, like after images brought to life. The second row of Monokumas mimicked the earlier ones with only 1 frame of delay, revealing even more Monokumas behind them. Eventually, Mukuro realized that there were 3 rows containing 10 Monokuma each. Did you know this is called a circle dance? Monokuma's 30 voices spoke in perfect harmony as they divulged the information that had nothing to do with the current situation. Mukuro already knew that multiple Monokumas were positioned throughout the academy. Only Junko knew how many Monokumas actually existed. Mukuro had no way of knowing if these 30 Monokumas were part of a larger contingent. The flock of two-toned teddy bears continued to twirl around, and Mukuro felt like she was being bombarded with hypnotic images. But faced with this abnormal sight, the ultimate soldier remained calm and maintained her focus. She was nothing like the girl who had panicked earlier in the gym when Makoto was impaled. As she stood before 30 emissaries of despair, she slowed her breathing and allowed her heart rate to accelerate. It was instinct, not fear or panic, that sent her blood racing through her body, speeding up the reaction time of her cells. As her senses sharpened, the Monokuma began speaking to her again. Don't worry, I'm sure Makoto doesn't die. As long as everyone lives, I can reset their memories as many times as I want. That's right, all your effort, hope, your determination are going right in the garbage heap. Monokumas took turns speaking in groups of 10, as if their mastermind controlling the Monokumas wanted to show off her ability to manipulate them. However, the ultimate soldier knew what the true purpose behind all this was. She strained her eyes to the limit and noticed certain sounds hidden among the Monokumas' voices. Mukuro's face remained perfectly still as she kicked off the floor. The moment she moved to the side, a roaring sound struck the entrance hall. The ceiling-mounted turrets in front of the gate started raining bullets down on Mukuro. The Monokumas were just the mastermind's decoy while she tried to blow her away. So further trapping her, the Monokumas charged at Mukuro through the storm of bullets. Mukuro guessed that the mastermind programmed their movements in advance and he wouldn't get hit by a single bullet. She ran for the gates, evading waves of bullets and claws every step away. Programming 30 Monokumas into turrets while also predicting Mukuro's escape route. This would be considered impossible for anyone, but Mukuro knew it was possible to Junko. As ultimate despair, she possessed despair-inducing abilities that surpassed the capabilities of any normal human. Her display of power was only fulfilling Mukuro with despair. Despair. The scene playing out in front of Mukuro was brimming with despair. The adorably dead Monokumas laughed and danced like Reaper's bullets whizzed in the air. It was despair to the point of absurdity, and was all for Mukuro. But in the presence of such despair, Mukuro felt a strange serenity. For me? Junko's doing all this for me. Junko, are you watching me right now? In the end, perhaps Mukuro really was a disappointment. She clenched her fists. Junko, thank you. The sound of gunfire overshadowed the whimper, and Mukuro fell completely silent. As a member of ultimate despair, Mukuro's heart was filled with joy. Though she was filled with emotion, her eyes had lost their sparkle. Silence filled the air. Even the gunfire from the turret seemed to stop for a moment. That was only an illusion to the one controlling Monokuma. Something strong enough to silence the gunfire and avoid being picked up by the sensors spread through the school. Mukuro at the center. I'll make sure I do this right. With that final thought, she closed her mouth and turned off her emotions. As she ran through the waves of scorching bullets, the air around her began to grow colder. As this coolness spread to her heart, it began to beat in a mechanical fashion. Several seconds later, Mukuro's body and mind melted together and became one with her surroundings. Her temperature now dominated the battlefield. Despair, bullets and Monokumas filled the area. Mukuro predicted their movements and jumped into the air without any hesitation. One of the Monokumas jumped at her, but she avoided his attack, kicked his body, and launched herself in midair. Bullets piercing through the space Mukuro was previously occupying, striking the falling Monokuma right through its internal bomb. The impact of the bullets caused it to explode, sending fiery Monokuma parts everywhere. She rode the blast wave, Mukuro balanced herself in midair, and she kicked away 2-3 Monokumas that left ahead of her. She moved so gracefully she was practically flying. In contrast, the Monokumas threw themselves into the path of oncoming bullets, exploding one after the other. Some of them exploded near the main entrance, but their blasts didn't even leave a scratch. With full control over the entrance hall, Mukuro evaded bullets and confirmed that the bombs inside Monokuma weren't enough to destroy the door. But she refused to stop. Mukuro needed to get information on what she must do to escape the academy. She had no desire to kill Junko. Mukuro wanted to fill Junko with despair by instilling hope into the future of Makoto and the other students. That was Mukuro's ultimate goal. Get information. In contrast to her determination, her mouth stayed shut, but it did not mean Mukuro was not completely speaking to Junko. The situation, this battle of death and destruction, was a conversation of sorts for Mukuro. All she knew how to do was fight. She thought she wasn't interested in anything else. She thought she didn't need anything else. All Mukuro needed to be was a sword to fulfill her sister's desire for despair. That purpose alone was the crux of her existence, and she lived her entire life convincing herself that she couldn't do anything else. That's why power was like a language to Mukuro. A battle to the death revealed more about her heart than mere words ever could. Her words were in the wind of savagery that blowed across the battlefield, uprooting others who also speak the language of violence. This is true even against her sister. When Junko would berate her sister, Mukuro couldn't talk back. All she could do was cower and apologize profusely. But it's different now. For the first time, Junko was using a language her sister actually recognized. The child of despair who tore the world apart was speaking to her sister with the language of power. Mukuro's heart filled with joy. For that reason, she strengthened her focus on her conversation with Junko, and then emotion began to gradually disappear. On this frigid battlefield, Mukuro continued to have a heated conversation. Endless rounds of despair fired from the school's turrets, but Monokuma's words intercepted every last word violent shot that threatened to shatter her body and mind in half. She quickly realized that the Monokumas had decreased in number at all, no matter how many she kept destroying, and not only that, she noticed that more Monokumas had been joining the fray, though there were nearly 50 of them for Mukuro to fight. But Mukuro's resolve wouldn't break so easily. As she continued to wield her power, her heart began to fill with something that was neither hope nor despair. She learned despair from being abandoned by Junko, and she learned hope from her acts of violence. But Mukuro, who had not interest in this world, the small space in front of the gate was a reflection of her life, a representation of her perfect world. This disappointing girl, filled with endless disappointment, who knew of no other way to live, continued her lonely dance. She surrounded herself to the rhythm of despair, which accompanies the music of hope. Computer's room in Tomos area, Monokuma room. How much time had passed? The surveillance cameras at the gates were capturing footage of countless Monokumas falling at the hands of a child who fought like a raging demon. Monokumas bolstered their numbers, and now hundreds of them were currently trying to sink Mukuro into... we think they called it to Mukuro. Most of them were running on autopilot, reacting to her movements based on prior information they had received in advance. But despite standing before hundreds of mechanical adversaries, Mukuro's face showed her fear. She hadn't sustained a single injury, giving her a presence that was nearly divine to behold. Though Sakura Ogami was powerful enough to injure her arm, Mukuro had the courage to take and potentially fight Sakura to a draw now, without relying on firearms. She took complete control of the battlefield, taking in the surroundings as if they were part of herself. She dodged attacks from the rears, though she had eyes at the back of her head, and stabbed through Monokuma's weak points with her metal bar. No matter where the attacks came from, Mukuro deflected them all as if her skin was covered in quick eyes. Describing her as ultimate no longer did her justice. Mukuro had transcended into the boundaries of humanity, and become a pure killing machine. But despite that, even though she understood the ludicrous power her sister possessed, Junko was not afraid. She felt no one iota of fear. After all Junko could feel is despair. She even started to admire her sister's attempt to fill her with despair, but that sentiment quickly filled Junko with an orgiastic ecstasy of despair. Sorry, that's a word I've never seen before. Junko knew. She knew that Mukuro was neither hope nor despair. She was just a phenomenon. A disappointing girl who no longer understood herself, who only knew how to become violent because it was all she could believe in anymore. Mukuro had become an avatar of destruction beyond that of any military force. She couldn't even be considered a soldier anymore. She was a natural disaster, like a typhoon or a tornado. Or perhaps, like gravity, she was now a fundamental force of the universe that only existed to bring true despair to Junko. The mastermind enjoyed watching her sister go all out. If Mukuro destroyed everything and ruined her life, Junko would still be comforted by the despair. She could just go right ahead and overpower her. Junko considered this for a few seconds until a familiar, hopeless habit reared its head. Her habit of getting so bored that it made her sick. The girl had been grinning as she watched the screen now bore a lack of calm stoicism, and she reached for the microphone connected to Monokuma's speakers. Mukuro was no longer human anymore, but Junko knew how to bring her back. It was a simple feeling, really, and with that hopeless feeling for Mukuro in mind, the mastermind said just one word. Mukuro. In front of the main entrance. Mukuro. That voice. It was calling her name. Instead of using Monokuma's voice filter, Junko's natural voice was coming out of the Monokuma unit. That's all it took. With one word, Mukuro Ikusaba stopped being a force of nature and became a person again. Monokuma would not miss this opportunity. As if immune to the beat of Mukuro's shaking heart, a torrent of calls leapt to attack her, but Mukuro trusted her instincts and twisted her entire body to fend off the attacks, leaving her with only a few scrapes here and there. But the despair wasn't over yet. The ultimate despair didn't waste any time making her next move. Mukuro, watch out! Huh? As soon as Mukuro heard that voice, her mind went completely blank. There was no mistaking it. That was Makoto's scream. The scream that saved her from the spears of Gangmir and changed her destiny. No, that's wrong. It took her a tenth of a second to realize that voice was just a sound clip Junko replayed. There was more than enough time to drag Mukuro, who regained humanity, into despair. And when she recovered from a moment of shock, Monokuma appeared before her, and roundhouse kicked her into the temple. She twisted her head to roll with a blow, but at that moment, a different Monokuma attacked her from the opposite side with a headbutt. And as soon as Mukuro dodged that attack, 3 Monokumas launched simultaneous drop kicks and knocked her to the ground. Ugh. The fact that they weren't using their claws meant they weren't trying to kill Mukuro right away. Before she could stand up again, dozens of Monokumas waited for her on the floor, climbed onto the top of Mukuro and pinned her limbs. One of the Monokumas waddled over to Mukuro as she lay face down on the floor and laughed. A pretty girl getting pinned by all these me's. I wonder if I should feel more excited by this. Don't make that face. If I wanted to kill you, I'd just pump you for the bullets right now. I don't think the audience watching this on TV would like that any very much. I need to make sure I do it the right way this time. What are you planning to do with me? Mukuro asked in an emotionless voice. Monokuma came forward and answered, Nothing. I'm just gonna stick to the original plan and make you play the kidding game at the school. I'll erase everyone's memories again, and I'll just make them redo the introduction and the entry ceremony again. In typical Monokuma fashion, he leaned his face towards Mukuro. But it'd be boring if we had to redo everything. Maybe this time I'll have you play this face Mukuro Ikusaba. I'll take away even more memories like I did to that irritating defective girl. She'll just be a poor little girl, no memory at all. As Monokuma talked and wiggled his body from side to side, the other Monokuma's dancing twirled around. Amidst this fantastical scene, Monokuma continued to describe his hopeless plan into a nonchalant manner. At first, she'll be the girl of amnesia, and everyone feels so sorry for you. But as they unravel the mystery of this academy, they'll find out who you really are. It's concerning to think how they'll treat you when that happens. Knowing you, you'll probably kill someone purely on instinct. Maybe I should rethink my new rules about school self-defense. You can't. Her memories would be erased. There was nothing she could do about her classmates hating her, but losing even her childhood memories would mean her connection to Junko would be severed as well. Even if Mukuro had no interest in the world, that was unbearable even for her. I've heard of New Game Plus before, this is the first time I get to see a New Game Minus. Should I tie it up for fun? Maybe I should make this game even more masochistic. Forget hard mode, very hard mode, and inferno mode. Well, just skip ahead to impossible mode. Maybe I'll erase your memories after I drag you on a motorcycle, pummel you with 1,000 baseballs, burn you at a stake, and crush you with an excavator. Mukuro knew what Monokuma was talking about. He was describing the tools they had prepared for the various executions they had planned for the students. After everyone reintroduces themselves, they'll walk around the school ground and eventually find a far-chested girl of amnesia, covered in bandages with Fenrir tattooed on the right arm. Might be a certain fan base get off on that. Just for a game, this would increase sales by 500%. Though Monokuma sounded like he was joking, everything he said was deadly serious. As evidence, Mukuro heard a rumbling sound off in the distance. Not on your sweet ride's on its way! Based on the engine's noise, Mukuro surmised that it was the large motorcycle that was supposed to be useful on the executions. Took the time to bring us all the way from the punishment room, so you better be grateful. How did I do that twice in a row? The sound of the roaring engine grew louder and louder, like the approaching footsteps of death. Mukuro wondered how Monokuma would drive it with such tiny arms and legs, but then she remembered she was dealing with an ultimate despair. Junko had made the impossible possible just to bring about despair, a despair that went hand in hand with Mukuro's fate. Did I fail? I couldn't fill Junko with despair. I could save Makoto and the others. Questions raced through Mukuro's mind, but she wasn't able to answer them. There's no way she could have answered them so easily. After all, she was still alive. The sound of the motorcycle grew closer and closer as if it was threatening to break Mukuro's spirit. Suddenly, Monokuma stopped moving. The other Monokumas continued doing their automatic movements. As this strange event unfolded, Mukuro noticed something. The motorcycle had suddenly gone quiet. After a few seconds, the engine exploded to life and began to approach even faster than before. Only a few seconds later, when right in front of the main entrance was an enormous motorcycle that plowed through groups of Monokuma like a predator hunting its prey. The rider of this motorcycle was none other than Mondo Uwada. Mukuro and Monokuma were both visibly shocked by this turn of events. Instead of addressing the Mondo accelerated the motorcycle, he stopped Monokuma directly towards Mukuro. Just before his front tire touched Mukuro, he popped the reverse wheelie and turned the entire motorcycle around. The back wheel swept over Mukuro's back, knocking away all the Monokumas that were pinning her. Hey, can you stamp? Mondo asked, begrudgingly offered his hand to Mukuro. Confused, Mukuro took his hand and stood up. What are you doing, Mondo? I was so close! One of the Monokumas pretended. Not in his normal voice, but as the hacker, Bashiki Madurai. Oh yeah, you're Bashiki or whatever, right? That's right, why are you having a terrorist? I ain't bragging about this or anything, but I have no clue if you or this girl is like. Veins in his temple began to bulge as his cheeks flushed with anger as Mondo said, but still, I ain't the type to just stand around while some idiot girl gangs up on him. Yeah. What are you saying? Get a hold of yourself. You must be experiencing Stockholm Syndrome. You deluded yourself into thinking your friends with the criminal were taking you hostage. Monica tried to explain to Mondo, but he ignored him, took Mukuro's hand, and pulled her onto the back of the motorcycle. Now shut the fuck up. I don't know nothing about Stockholms or syndromes, but don't go acting like you can boss me around. Mondo shouted. He revved the motorcycle as if he was using it to punctuate his words. The seating mounted turret began moving, but the two motorcycles disappeared before the turrets could aim at the motorcycle. As he zoomed through the hallway, countless Monokumas chased after them, waving their claws wildly through the air. Why? Asked Mukuro. Huh? Shouted Mondo. His voice was even louder than the sound of the engine. Don't get the wrong idea. I don't trust you at all. He lowered his voice slightly as he was whispering to himself. Still, I don't know why I felt like I could trust what he said. He? Inquired Mukuro. He was so tired of the questions. The unit seeing the Monokuma chasing after the motorcycle had almost caught up to them. And then, like the enormous maw of some fearsome creature, they brandished their claws in perfect unison. At that moment, the motorcycle zoomed by a certain girl, a girl whose fighting ability is faster than any normal human, the strongest girl on Earth. With a fighting spirit and defied comprehension, the ultimate martial artist kicked off the floor. A sound even louder than the motorcycle's engine filled the room. When Mukuro looked back, she saw Sakura landing on the floor, sending the pack of Monokumas flying several meters away. Sakura? She heard Mukuro mumble her name. Sakura didn't acknowledge it. Like a statue of a fearsome god king, she calmed her breath, breathing as she stood before the pack of Monokumas ready for battle. Her pursuit ever seemed unbecoming for one who claims to be the ultimate hacker. Her appearing aura seemed to seep through her skin, and her skin shivered as intense heat began to fill the hallway. Unlike the powers of Mukuro's sheer violence, this is the power of martial arts. Mukuro froze the air around her, and time along with it. The Sakura was generating enough heat to boil space itself, and she stood before the Monokumas. With that heat stinging her back, Mukuro looked away. Hifumi and Chihiro were cautiously peeking from behind the door leading to the doors, while I and Taka kept watching from inside the building. At the passing by, Mondo slowed down the motorcycle as he reached the front of the cafeteria and turned it into a complete stop. The other students looked wary of Mukuro. And amongst these students, Mukuro noticed two people who weren't regarding her with suspicion. One was Kyoko, seemed to be studying the situation. The other one was a skinny boy who was leaning against Kyoko's shoulder. Makoto! Mukuro's lips began to tremble as she sat on the back of the motorcycle. Knowing the pain coursing through his body, Makoto smiled at Mukuro and repeated what he said to her earlier. I'm glad you're safe, Mukuro. Unfortunately, Mukuro was unable to realize her hope of filling her little sister with despair. Instead, she had successfully planted the seeds of hope into her fellow students. Makoto barely regained consciousness while Mukuro was fighting the horde of Monokumas at the main entrance. When he woke up, he did something extremely simple. He talked about his memories. Most of the students were still skeptical even after listening to Mukuro's recorded confession on Chihiro's laptop. Obviously, they were still not entirely convinced at first when Makoto woke up, but after Sakura asked him a certain question, the ambience completely changed. They're beyond the walls of the school? The world is completely destroyed? You're saying there's no one else alive? Makoto slowly sat to answer Sakura's meek question. Don't worry, I'm sure Kenichiro is still safe. I'm sure he'll still keep his promise to you. Sakura gasped. Kenichiro was the only man she couldn't defeat, the man who promised her a rematch and made her one other promise as well. How do you know that name? How do you know about that promise? Because you told me. No. Makoto slowly corrected himself. You told all of us. Sakura was silent after hearing those words, but she then faced the other students and spoke in a loud, clear voice. I'm going to trust Makoto. Sakura? Though I was shocked, Sakura continued to speak with determination. What Makoto just said is something I kept locked away inside my memories. In fact, I was planning to keep that a secret until the day I died. But if I shared that secret, that means there was once a strong bond between Makoto, myself, and with my fellow students as well. Makoto continued to talk in a gentle tone. Though it couldn't have been for good for his health, he continued to slowly talk about the memories that the other students no longer had. Why do you know about the story I'm planning to write? Are you a specialist Nen user who can break the future? You already finished that story for me. Yeah, me help you with thinking. What? Well, wait a sec. How do you know I stole money from a girl related to the Kisuryu clan? because you even tried to sell my organs to them. His wounds were excruciating. Even so, Makoto kept smiling and talking about their lives together, as if it was his duty to do so now that he had regained his memories. As the other students listened to it, they suddenly began to realize something. The vivid accounts he was providing couldn't be explained as just passing knowledge. Clearly, some kind of bond between them all had been erased. Only Byakuya remained cynical. There's no way I would have grown close to any of you, saying that you're all secretly working together. Though Byakuya was still hostile towards Makoto's recollection of their memories, for the time being, he was determined that Makoto wasn't actually a terrorist. Mukuro had begun enough time for Makoto to wake up and share his memories with the others. Even if she hadn't intended to do that, it was still a small sliver of hope that she gasped tightly. And now, as she looked at the boy who smiled at her, Mukuro didn't know what to say. She couldn't think of anything to say at all. The battle was over, and Mukuro was now back to being a disappointed girl. She turned away from everyone's faces and apologetically climbed off the back of the motorcycle. But Makoto saw her and slowly opened his mouth to say, "Thank you, Mukuro. You saved my life." Makoto gave her words of sincere gratitude between his weak breaths. Mukuro couldn't bring herself to look at him as he mumbled to himself. "Why? Huh? If Kyoko told you, then you already know what I did, right?" After regaining his memories and learning the truth, Mukuro should have been nothing but a hated traitor to him. Why would he smile at someone like her? Mukuro kept her head down. Makoto smiled as if he was unsure how to respond and said, "Well, I guess you're right, but you also saved my life many times during these past 2 years, and..." Makoto took a deep breath and smiled at Mukuro again. "You're my friend. We all spent time with each other. It would be great if you could look for a different path, not despair. And if there's any way I can help you, I will. Do you really think you can walk another path at this point? I don't know what you can do, or even what I can do, but I think it's more important to look for that path instead of actually finding it." Was this intentional, or a coincidence? Just before he regained his memories, Makoto said something similar to Mukuro when she spoke to him in the nurse's office as Junko. Regardless of whether he lost his memories or regained them, his words revealed Makoto's true character. As Mukuro could turn that to herself, Makoto blurted out something that was almost too trusting. "And it's not just you, even Junko can." He was immediately interrupted. Monikuma's face appeared on every monitor in the academy, and his laughter seemed to be coming from every speaker. "I'm gonna keep pretending to be the ultimate hacker, but it's boring to impersonate someone who doesn't even exist. This keeps up, I'll lose my identity, turn into Kon Akuma." Kyoko looked out the surveillance camera and addressed Monokuma directly. He seemed to give up pretty easily. "There isn't a bear anywhere that gives up as easy as I do. Regardless, I'm pretty sure Chihiro has figured out the secret of my control program by now. So just as I thought, you've included that program on purpose." Kyoko realized something when Mukuro told her about Junko. There was 2 reasons, such as a hateful person would intentionally leave as an obvious clue inside the Monokuma units. Either Junko wanted the students to learn the truth about the outside world and themselves on their own, and turn their hopes into despair, or she was looking forward to that clue resulting in her own plan being undone, which allowed her to feel despair towards herself. She was an angel of everlasting darkness, despite delighting in her own despair and using it to spread despair and destruction to those around her. Why would someone like that continue to play the role of Monokuma? Actually, is that program that Chihiro discovered she'd been one of the final 5 survivors? It was so sad and empty that my preparation was a waste, but I think going about it positively. The word retreat doesn't exist in Monokuma's dictionary. Noses began to grip the suits as Monokuma continued talking in his relaxing, uplifting voice. "Now then, firstly, everyone's here, including Toka, who's still tied up in a room. So let's start the heart-throbbing, exciting special graduation exam." "What?" Students broke out in noisy confusion, but Monokuma ignored them and kept talking. "Don't think about it too hard. Relax, relax. Change Elax to Opert. For all I care, I still be the most adorable bear here." Byakuya, visibly annoyed with Monokuma's nonsensical rambling, shouted, "I already know it's you, Junko. Stop this stupid game and show yourself." "Oh my, don't you know? If you want to learn the mastermind of our heavenly hidey hole, you need to bring a worthy sacrifice. You're not worthy enough at all. Do you really think the mastermind will show herself for your pathetic hope and despair?" Roared maniacally, they began to explain its special graduation exam. "If you pass my exam, everyone will graduate, but if you fail, you'll be held back for a whole year. I'll reset your memories, give you a fresh new lease on life, and you'll reintroduce yourself to the start of the school year again. They say people's lives don't come with reset buttons, but I'm not a people. Whether it's soft resets or hard resets, I can do as I please." Kazuhira seemed confused, but the other students knew what Monokuma meant by reset. He was going to force them to relive their school lives once again. Kazuhira struggled to understand. Taka pointed at a nearby monitor and shouted, "Stop this already! No matter what you do to us, we'll never commit murder. These past few days should have already made that clear to you." "What was that, Monokuma? Are you serious?" "Of course. No one here would ever take another human being's life for any reason." Taka shouted at one of the students, a pale-faced looking girl, standing apart from the others, looked away. It was Sayaka. As she trembled, a voice pulled up from behind her. "What do you think, Sayaka?" She couldn't even turn around from sheer terror, but Sayaka knew. She knew Monokuma was standing right behind her. "Do you really think none of you will become a killer?" Monokuma leaned towards Sayaka and asked her a question only she could hear. "By the way, Sakia, why did you go to Makoto's room and nothing strange had happened yet? Should you have an inappropriate relationship? What would your fans think if they found out you made a move on a boy by sneaking into his room? Or were you there for some other reason? She could barely make a sound, much less scream as she trembling worsened. Monokuma had nothing to gain by cornering Sayaka and turning over emotions like this. Simply wanted to see the young singer fall into despair over her true character. And for that reason, Monokuma did not relent. Hey, what were you trying to do to your close friend you've known for the past 2 years? Her determination from last night blended with the memories Makoto recounted, and ate away at Sayaka's mind like a disease. As her mind began to rip itself apart, she fell to her knees. A clear ball, flying just under 105 miles per hour, struck Monokuma in the mouth with enough force to sink into his face. The speaker in Monokuma's mouth was immediately destroyed as his body rolled into a wall to stop moving. Sayaka came to her senses and looked at what the ball came flying from. She saw Leon, breathing heavily as she stared intensely at Monokuma. Yasuhiro grabbed it and yelled, "Ah! Dude, why'd you do that, Leon? That crystal ball had really value!" Leon stole Yasuhiro's crystal ball and threw it at Monokuma. That Monokuma bastard was trying to take Sakuya hostage. What was I supposed to do? Dude, that crystal ball cost me $2 trillion! $2 trillion! They don't even print that much money anymore! Oh, bullshit! Besides, if the one is all screwed up, what the hell are you gonna need money for anyway? If it's safe out there, I'll just join the major leagues or whatever, pay you back! Well, I can pay you back for doing help aside baseball. This new argued Sayaka fell to her knees. Hey, shouted Leon, running towards her. Sayaka, are you okay? She looked at him and stared blankly. Leon. She had made up her mind, and she raised her head as she said, there's something I need to confess to you later. What? Seriously? Sayaka was staring at Leon so intensely, and he briefly forgot about the current situation. Not just to you, but to Makoto and the others too. Sayaka made up her mind to confess the sin that was weighing heavily on her heart, but Leon seemed not to hear the latter half of her remark. He ran back to the others, slapped Fumi and Yasuhiro on their backs and shouted, "Alright everyone, let's ace this exam, whatever, and get out of here already! There's no way I'm gonna let my happy memories out of this place get taken away!" Monica was inside the monitor responded, Fine. Now that things are finally coming to a boil, let's start the graduation exam. Sakura, who had been outside the dormitory, suddenly appeared with some information. The Monokumas in the hallway are acting peculiar. The students all moved to the main building to see what Sakura was talking about. There they saw 50 Monokumas standing in 2 rows along the walls of the hallway, one standing at the very end of the hall. There was something strange on top of this Monokuma's head, and a large version of the escape button that Makoto had obtained from the Mono machine. As each student took this in sight, an announcement rang for the school. The me at the end of the hall has a button on top of its head that'll open the main entrance. You'll have 15 seconds to get that button, and if you do, I'll let you have it in place of a diploma. The student seemed surprised by the straightforward explanation. Only Celeste remained calm, and she asked Monokuma with a look on her face. Of course, it's not as simple as running up and taking it, is it? Oh, how mean! Who would like the kind of headmaster who would interfere with students' graduation? Forget the gunfire salutes, I'm gonna send my graduates off with some fireworks! 100 fireworks to be exact. Enough for 20 seconds of hardcore partying! The more perceptive students immediately realized what he was talking about. The bombs installed in each Monokuma. They would explode one after the other, filling the hallway with fire as soon as time started. After 15 seconds, the me standing at the back of the hall is going to sacrifice himself to give you guys one final firework. By the way, this probably is important, but that button isn't very durable. This graduated exam was Monokuma's way of saying that he had no intention of letting anyone leave. It was clear from the explosion that the students saw during the entrance exam that the halls of Hope's Peak Academy would be bathed in fire. Even if someone was lucky enough to survive the explosions, the burns in their body alone would be enough to send them into a fatal shock. Their lungs might be completely incinerated by the scorched air before that. Even if they sacrificed one student to run through, the odds that were lower they would even succeed. But there was no reason for every student to run in at once either, as the shadow of despair fell onto their faces. Nice, very nice. I almost want to take a picture so I have their faces as a souvenir. Monokuma laughed from behind the monitor. Sakura stepped forward. I'll do it. I have only seen the explosion once, but I believe I'm capable of withstanding its power. No, shut up, you can't. You couldn't handle 100 of those explosions. Sakura shook her head. I'm the only one who even has a chance. Suddenly, Mondo remembered the motorcycle he parked at the dormitory and said, Hold up, that motorcycle might be fast enough to go through those explosions. I'll do it. Don't be hasty, urged Sakura. Even if the motorcycle is unharmed by the explosions, that doesn't mean its rider will be. As Sakura and the others continued their debate, one person stepped towards the hallway in line for the Monokumas. I'll do it. Makuro, screamed Makoto weakly. Makuro, who with her back facing Makoto, turned her head to the side slightly and gave him a small nod. She knew it would come to this. She knew why Monokuma would pose such an impossible exam. Juko is already looking forward to the next despair game. She's going to erase everyone's memories, including mine. She just wants to torment us and fill us with despair before that happens. But Mukuro knew her sister's personality all too well, and that's why she was confident. She knew that the escape button was real. Whenever Junko brought despair to others, she always made sure there was a possibility that despair would befall her instead. If the students won this gamble and made it through this horrible situation, they would finally escape to the outside world. That outcome would obviously fill Junko with immense despair. In the same way she left a clue in Monokuma's control panel program, Junko could not be satisfied unless she took pains to ensure her own destruction. It was this quality that made Junko the ultimate despair. That's why Mukuro was determined to do it. She knew she was the only person who stood as a chance of making the outcome possible, even if she had to risk her life. But, right now, Mukuro wants to live more than anything. She wants to hold on to his world, a world she had no interest in previously. She didn't even know this hesitation she felt was disappointing or not, but she wanted to live and continue searching for a new path. A path where she could abandon her submission to despair, where she could accept the sins of the past and continue to live. Mukuro, who was known as a war machine, found her heart beset by overwhelming fear and anxiety. Until now, it had never occurred to her that determination was necessary to live. As if she was brushing that fear aside, she quietly said, "Thank you, Makoto." Unfortunately, the words she said to the boy who showed her new possibilities never reached his ears. Sakura, however, heard her and frowned as she said, "If you plan to sacrifice yourself as an act of penance, I'll stop you with all my power." Though her words were firm, there's unmistakable affection hiding in them. Both girls had dedicated their lives to battle, and yet Mukuro felt a twinge of jealousy towards Sakura, possessing something she lacked. Mukuro leaned towards Sakura and whispered in her ear, "What? Are you serious?" As Sakura frown intensified, Monacoma's voice blared through the halls. "Alright, I'm gonna start the exam now! Ready, set, go!" There was no time for questions or objections. The frontmost Monokuma exploded, sending a roaring wave of heat through the hall. But Mukuro didn't look away. She began moving, powered by resolute determination. Monokuma room. As soon as the graduation exam started, the mastermind focused their control entirely on Monokuma's hottie escape button. They completely synchronized her field of vision with it. She knew what was going to happen next. She could predict what her sister Mukuro would do in this exact situation, as she would choose to focus her superhuman skill with memory. And so, through Monokuma's eyes, she watched the scene unfold exactly as she predicted. A pointed metal bar burst through the explosions, headed straight for the weak point of the Monokuma holding the escape button. Specifically, it was aiming for the point where the bomb detonated and Monokuma's power source overlapped. It flew straight and true, as if it had been fired by a master archer. In order to bring despair to Monokuma, and by extension Junko as well, the super soldier known as Mukuro Kusaba threw the pipe like a spear so she could attack the same weak point she had pierced in her nurse's office. As explosions filled the hallway until only fire remained visible, the spear speed and precision as it soared with its target defied all human logic. But the mastermind knew. She knew Mukuro had used her power to fill the world with despair. Power was all disappointing the girl had. That power was useless against Monokuma. The mastermind had predicted that Mukuro would put all her effort into that throw, and Monokuma caught the metal bar perfectly between his hands. The force of the throw knocked Monokuma back several yards. The pointed end of the bar never pierced through his chest. Well, that was disappointing. The mastermind looked to me, turned to look at a different monitor. She wanted to see the look on Mukuro's face when she realized that she failed to strike Monokuma. The despair to see the final Monokuma explode right before her eyes, completely obliterated the escape button. She wanted to see the memory of this point in sister's final moments as a newfound hope sank into a dark pit of despair. On instinct, she turned her attention to the surveillance camera that had been destroyed, but instead of seeing Mukuro and the others. She only saw Sakura, who looked as though she had finished launching an attack. She only thought it was strange for 1 second, but then the hopelessly powerful mastermind completely understood the situation and shifted her point of view to Monokuma. How because of that single second, Junko would feel just a pang of despair. "3 seconds left. Amid the smoke, flames, and heat encircling the hallway, it burst through them with the speed of a cannon shell. It glared at Monokuma with hot, boiling eyes that betrayed the icy expression on its face. And then, sharply, swiftly, strongly, it transformed into a living weapon that cuts through almost everything, revealing its true form in that horde of despair. 2 seconds left. Monokuma, who was still holding the metal bar in his hand, tried to move, but in that exact moment, the living weapon carved a path through the flames and appeared before him. Its body, which had never been wounded on any battlefield, was sustaining all manners of burns and injuries. But even so, it did not falter. The fire at its eyes never flickered once. 1 second left. The living weapon, Mukuro, slammed her knee into the back of the metal bar Monokuma was holding. The sharp tip of the metal bar pierced through the Monokuma like a rail spike, shredding the detonator and its power source into pieces. Time's up. The 100 explosions ceased and spoke blanketed the hallway. Mukuro dived into Monokuma and the pristine escape button now rested in her hand. She and the other students of Hoshiki Academy held past the graduation exam. It was only a small amount of despair. Monokuma tested it in only 3 seconds. First floor hallway. Junko. Mukuro looked down at Monokuma. He could no longer move or self-destruct. When she spoke to him, a static-filled voice emitted from his mouth. It seems clarification lecture still worked. I never expected you to do that. Still sounded like Monokuma. It seems his voice modulation was unharmed as well. I must have overestimated you. I never thought you'd need anybody's help on the battlefield. When I give the signal, please launch before we roundhouse kick. Mukuro whispered these words to Sakura just before the explosion started. After Mukuro threw the metal bar, she jumped into the air at the exact moment Sakura unleashed a roundhouse kick. Right when Sakura's foot made contact with her own, Mukuro used the force generated by her kick to propel herself on Monokuma. Using the ultimate martial artist's superhuman attack like a springboard, she shot herself through the air like an artillery shell. Enduring intense heat, shrapnel, and blood-draining G-force, she stayed conscious, and she charged for the hallway engulfed with the explosion of despair. Mikuro trusted Junko. She trusted Junko to predict that she'd throw the metal bar and catch it accordingly. Then she tried to look at her face and despair sets in. The Junko Enoshima she knew would definitely do that. Although Mikuro had predicted what her sister would try to kill her with a spare gun there, she had a better understanding of her actions now. As Mikuro stared Monokuma in the face, all he could do was laugh scornfully. You put your life in someone else's hands for a deadly battle? I don't know how I feel about that. You'll always be a half-assed disappointment. I guess it's time to just say I lost because I didn't see this much disappointment coming. The end. Mikuro shook her head at Monokuma. No, you're wrong, Junko. Huh? If you want to talk about winning or losing, I think we lost, but even before we started. Mikuro's eyes shifted from side to side. If she was unsure of something, she fidgeted in place so she continued to talk. No matter how much despair they felt, you didn't think they'd kill each other the way they were before. That's why you erased their memories. You aren't like the others you forced in the past. You knew these students would never do it. That's what you believed, isn't it? What are you talking about? So, it's okay, Junko. I'll bring back everyone's memories someday, and I'll show you everyone's happiness and their bonds. I'll show that all to you, and fill you with even more despair. Mikuro nodded as she just said this, as if the chair assisted her up. After several seconds of silence, Monokuma responded. You finally beat me this one time, and that lame speech is the best you could do? Such a disappointment. You never fill me with despair. It's just constant disappointment. After pouting like a sore loser, Monokuma continued to speak in his usual tone. But you guys will be back. And when that time comes, I'll invite you guys to a wonderful place. I found about this fun island while I was running things here. Monokuma's laughter filled the room before the static finally cut out as his remains fell silent. He wouldn't be talking again anytime soon. The Mastermind was already preparing a new despair to bring the world and the students of Hope Street Academy, Junko included. In the end, the Mastermind stayed in her Monokuma persona until the very end, but Junko Enoshima never showed her face again. It was as if she resented despair Mikuro had given her. That thought almost filled Mikuro with despair. When she heard her classmates calling for her, she sealed her despair into the depths of her heart. From now on, she would seal away all her despair. And one day, when she can give Junko the perfect despair, she release all the despair she stored and plunge with her sister into a dark abyss. I won't leave my little sister alone. In the end, that was the first hope the disappointing child sister had felt since it was a child. Several hours later, main entrance. Mikuro, really going out wearing that wig? After receiving your blood transfusion, the correct blood type, Mikuro was beginning to show signs of recovering. Mikuro, holding up wig to disguise herself as Junko Enoshima, nodded. If I live as Junko, I might be able to understand her better. Despite that, Mikuro's voice still sounded like her own, as if she hadn't fully decided. And I made up my mind. While I'm out there, I decided I accept everyone's hatred towards Junko. I can't die until I destroyed all the despair that Junko spread. The damage that ultimate despair inflicted upon the world could not be measured in terms of money, culture, or even human life. Television broadcasts had already begun informing people that Junko Enoshima and Mikuro used to suffer with a high ultimate despair. Among the survivors of the outside world, there are still people who haven't been tainted by despair yet. Regardless of the fact that she released Makoto and the others to the survivors, she was nothing more than the reason the world ended. And the terrorists wearing Monokuma masks who continued to ravage the world. Mikuro was nothing but a traitor. She was now in the hopeless situation of being enemies of most humanity. But Mikuro wasn't making a big deal out of it. I'm going to try not to kill anyone who comes after me for revenge. Wouldn't it be safer to just turn yourself in? What did Yasuhiro? Well, you might just get executed instead. But you could live to be an old lady if you try to keep getting pushed back. Mikuro slowly shook the head of Yasuhiro. Laws, justice, these things no longer exist. Is it really that bad out there? Maybe we just stay in here. Byakuya glared at Yasuhiro in contempt. Ignorant idiots should just shut up. The fate won't change whether you stay here or not. Though he was shocked to learn Togami Corporation had been destroyed, Byakuya continued to remain firm and proud, even towards Mikuro. You are a rare asset, Byakuya, so I'll let you live for now. Depending on your actions, I may consider forgiving your crimes after I build a new world. Only it's a guy who would boast that they're capable of forgiving the crimes of any of the world. You don't need to do that, I don't plan on just surviving. Turning away from Byakuya, Mikuro looked at the other students. Everyone was reacting in their own way. Kyoko had a look of quiet preparation. Toko having just changed back from Genocide Jack was panicked and confused. Mikuro looked back at the 2 years she spent with him, and turned to Makoto, who shared the same memories as her, and gave him the escape button. Makoto. You press it. Huh? Me? I think it's better if you press it instead of me. She watched Makoto accept the button with some hesitation. Mikuro thought about what Monokuma had just said. You guys will be back. Mikuro knew that Monokuma was telling the truth. After all, the father students needed to fully restore their lost memories and remained hidden in the academy. Research notes of Yasuka Matsuda, the ultimate neurologist. His research is the key to restoring everyone's memories. Even if the students no longer had their memories, they may be able to repair the bonds they had built among themselves over the past 2 years. But as long as their memories remained unrestored, the Mastermind could still repeat their deadly plan. Although the item mentioned earlier sounds strange, the students could not turn their backs on despair facing them. Then let's go. Makoto remembered everything that was happening in the outside world. The boy who had chosen to remain inside the academy 2 years ago now was choosing to leave. How much did he struggle to come to that decision? Well, he was determined to face the despair awaiting him inside, and his internal conflict from the others. Protecting Makoto's hope, Mikuro would break despair to her beloved sister, but she no longer knew if the end result of her goal would lead to hope or despair. She pulled the wig over her head and hid her face with her hands. Was she smiling because hope was waiting for her? Was she crying because her path would lead to despair? She lowered her hand, her face was devoid of all emotion. Mikuro no longer knew what expression she would wear on her face. At the same time, Makoto pressed the escape button. The siren began to wail as the turrets retracted into the ceiling. From beyond the heavy door, a bright light appeared, an infinite number of ifs, and all the possibilities contained therein encased the world. Accepting everything, hope, despair, and even the feelings of the sweaty girl, Mikuro Ikusaba. And that's the book. That was actually pretty good. I'm all for that. That was a really interesting read, to be honest. And thank God that we're done here, you know, because there is still one more thing that we need to do right now. It's kind of a bonus episode, and that's island mode. But first, since we have a little bit of time left, we might as well play around with the Yashin a little bit here, just to get some stuff here. See maybe some stuff that we might be able to get. This may seem strange just to have this as kind of a little bit of an ending part to the story, a bit of move with Flash, I suppose. But, you know, we just have to get a little bit prepared for the next episode, or next couple of episodes. I don't know how many I'm going to be doing, but, you know, I have a goal in mind for what I'm doing next time, so you'll see it eventually. So yeah, we'll get another 10 coins pumped into this thing to get 10 whole things, yeah. Oh, look at that sword, that's nice. I'm reminded of Ace Attorney again. Oh boy. Man, I've done a lot of reading today. And yesterday. Oh, well, Monday at least. Screw it. That's all I came here for. Maybe, actually no, don't say changes. Wait. Okay. Oh yeah, we have the money still. Okay, I was gonna say like maybe pressing no was a bad thing. Alright. Let's just pump some coins into here. Like 8 coins, I don't know. Oh, there's a way to speed it up in some way. Yeah, just holding the A button. Okay. And 2 more. There we go. More ghost stones, alright. And to the vending machine again. Because I secretly want to buy some more ghost stones. Might as well buy like all the things that were missing. Okay, I didn't mean to buy another one of those things. I haven't bought any sunflower seeds. I've fallen in this money. Oh jeez, thank you for telling me that video game. More blue RAM. Yeah, we bought everything here. Everything in the store, at least. Oh yeah, we can have a look at some of these as well, I suppose. So sound gallery, predictably enough, is just all the songs in the game. I think we already did look at this at the end of the other episode, but, you know. Let's, find our one thing and pick it up. Because... okay, maybe I just can't see it. Oh well. I was gonna pick up, the 8-bit Ikarashi or whatever it's called. And let us... I mean, look at these mono beasts. Let's look at something cool, I suppose. Oh, there's that thing, alright. Dot art, there we go. Nice. Don't display UI. This is a nice reward for beating the game, I suppose. I can use that in the future for other things. What is Hatchway doing in the top left? Also, like, they've got the different changes for everyone as well. So, that's real nice. These things. Wait. Oh no, I was hoping I was going to get the walking animation from them, but no. What a shame. Movie clips. Oh yeah, that was the last thing we needed, so we've technically unlocked every... Oh, I was wondering what the hell that was, but then I remember that was the thing that we already saw. Yeah, like, I think for the majority of these things, we've unlocked all of them. I don't think... We're missing some event panels, I'm fairly certain, yeah. But, hey, check all this out. The Three Who Look Back. Just a lot of interesting things. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm rambling at this point, so let's stop. In the next episode of Misery Mondays, either one more or two more after this, we'll be moving into island mode. See you then. Hope you enjoy reading.